So, so we are going to start today's class. Today we are going to discuss about how to use Newton's method to find the complex root. How to use Newton's method to find the complex root. Okay. So we are going to use the same method. So I am going to explain the method again. Okay. So the question is, find the roots of f of x is equal to x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 5. I shared this question yesterday. So find the roots of f of x is equal to x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 5. Okay. So the one initial condition that I shared yesterday is you are asked to take 1 plus j0. 1 plus j that I asked you to take. So 1 plus j is the initial condition. So if you have a complex initial condition, you can find the complex root. So what we need? We need the same tabular column. The initial condition is 1 plus j. Okay. So anyway, the initial condition is 1 plus j. So we are starting the first iteration. So this is our first iteration. So initial condition is 1.0000 plus 1.0000 j, because we are using 4 significant digits. Okay. Now if you are substituting this value into this equation f of x, you can see that this is 2 plus 5j. Okay. The only thing is, in calculator you have to take the complex mode, otherwise you can't solve it. Okay. So the value is 2 plus 5j, that is f of x. And what is f dash of x? F dash of x is equal to 3x square, right, plus 4x minus 1. So this is f dash of x. So what is f dash of x? If you are solving this, 3 plus 10j, that one is a f dash value, 3 plus 10j. Okay. So we have xn, f of xn, f dash of xn. So what is xn plus 1? Xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So I have 0.4862 plus 1.0459j. For second step, 0.4862 plus 1.0459j, that one is xn value. So substitute this value into f of x. So we have 1.3183 plus 0.5861j. So this is f of x. Now what is f dash of x? F dash of x is 3x square plus 4x minus 1. So if you are substituting this value, then we have minus 1.6273 plus 7.2347j. So this is f dash of xn. So what about xn plus 1? This value, that is xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So we have 0.4481 plus 1.2367j. Now third iteration. So this is third iteration, 0.4481 plus 1.2367i, that is xn. So if you are substituting this one into f of x, we have minus 0.0712 minus 0.1660i, that is f of xn. Now f dash of xn is minus 3.1929 plus 8.2718j. So this is f dash of xn. Okay. So now xn plus 1, xn plus 1 is equal to this xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So that is equal to 0.4627 plus 1.2224j. So this is xn plus 1. Okay. So now take the so now the fourth iteration is 0.4627 plus 1.2224j xn. Now f of xn is 0.0016 minus 0.0014j. So you can see that the absolute value of f of xn is now in 10 raised to minus 2 range, right? If you are taking the absolute value, that one is also something around 0.00 something, means 10 raised to minus 3 range, not to 10 raised to minus 3 range. So the error is reducing. I told you f of x, the value of f of x is the error. We can take it as a error. Why? Because not error, residue. The reason is at the actual root f of x will be 0. So if it is not 0, that one is residue. So that one is reducing now, means the root is coming very close to the actual root. Now what about f dash of x? F dash of x is minus 2.9898 plus 8.2835 I. So this is f dash of x. Okay. So if the x value is coming very close to the root, you can see that this f dash of x will become constant almost, because our assumption is very close to the root, the function is almost linear. That is our assumption. So this system is becoming, or the curve is becoming linear, means f dash will become constant. Okay, so that property is also there, but we are not using that. So anyway, this is f dash of x. So by using xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn plus 1 is 0.4629 plus 1.2225j. So if you are comparing the previous value, the difference is very small, right? Anyway, now fifth iteration. So for fifth iteration, 0.4629 plus 1.2225j, that one is the xn value. So f of xn, the f of xn value is not 0, but that one is in 10 raised to minus 5 range. The significant digits are 4. So 10 raised to minus 5 means the first 4 digits are definitely 0, and the last fifth digit is less than 5. So that is why this one is assumed as 0. Means that value is not dotted, noted. Sorry, that value is that one is not noted. Okay, so that is why option here. So as it is 0, this one is also not noted. So if this f of xn is 0, please note, if f of xn is 0, then xn plus 1 is exactly equal to this value. So xn plus 1 is equal to the previous value, means we can stop there. Okay. So this one is the complex root of this equation. So if this one is a complex root of this equation, you can find the next root also. What is the next root? Its complex pair. So its complex pair is 0.4629 minus 1.2225j. Okay. If we have a plus j root, then definitely we have a minus j root also. Okay. So we have a complex pair. So now we have two roots, 0.4629 plus or minus 1.2225j. Okay. So now if it have two roots, if we have these two roots, then as it is a cubic function, then what about the third root? Is it a complex root or real root? What is your guess? Real one, yes. So first iteration, minus 3 is the initial value, xn. So if you are substituting minus 3 into this equation, this term will become minus 3 cube plus 2 into minus 3 square minus 3 plus 5. So the value is minus 1. So f of xn is minus 1. And what about f dash of xn? Please remember, f dash of xn is 3x square plus 4x minus 1. So that is f dash of xn. So if you are substituting minus 3 into this equation, it will become plus 40. Okay. So what about xn plus 1? Xn plus 1 is xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn, that is minus 3 minus 1 by 40. So we have minus 2.9286. So after first iteration, the value of x is minus 2.9286. Is it okay? All of you. So now, okay, second iteration. For second iteration, minus 2.9286 minus 2.9286 is xn. Now if you are substituting this one into this equation, we have minus 0.0353. Okay. So f dash of xn is 13.0153. So the new xn plus 1 is minus 2.9286 minus 0.0353 divided by 13.0153. So this one minus this one divided by this one. So we have minus 2.9259. Okay, so that one is second iteration. Now third iteration. So you can see that within 3 iteration the method is converged, means the root is very close to the actual root, means the initial condition is very close to the actual root. That is why this one is quickly converged. So during the third iteration, the xn value is minus 2.9259. This one is negligible because less than 10 raised to minus 4. So this is negligible. So there is no need to find this one. This is not actually negligible. There is no need to find this value. So xn plus 1, as f of xn is 0, xn plus 1 is equal to xn. So we have minus 2.9259. Root 1 comma 2 is 0.4629 plus or minus 1.2225j, and the third root, or the real root, is minus 2.9259. So now please note f of x is equal to x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 5. Okay, and this is that particular function. This is f of x is equal to x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 5. And you can see that the real root is minus 2.9259. Means one time it is crossing this x axis. So please note here the x value, this x is real. That is why we can see only one crossing point, because this is real. But you can predict about the possibility of that complex root. You can see that here you have a local maxima and local minima. It is not continuing like this way. If it is continuing, if this curve is continuing like this way, then it will have only one root. But you can see that this is continuing up to this point, then suddenly the f dash of x is changed. Up to this point f dash of x is positive, then that one is becoming negative up to this point. Then suddenly it is again increasing. So 2 points means a maxima is there, a minima is there. So please note, if you have something like this function, say if you have something like this one is a parabolic function, right? This is a parabolic function. So this function have 2 roots. You can see that it have a local minima. If a local minima is present, definitely you can expect 2 roots. So but as it is crossing at these 2 points, there is no complex root, because a local minima is there. Local minima means 2 roots are there, and the 2 roots are visible here. Okay. Now take the second case. Now this is another parabolic function. Again a local minima is there, and that local minima is exactly equal to 0. So it will have 2 roots. Sorry, that local minima is just touching the x-axis. So just touching the x-axis. So that touching point, that one is the root. And I told you, if it have a local minima, it will have 2 roots. So if it is touching that, just touching that x-axis, means this one is a multiple root. It will have 2 roots on the same point. Okay. Now take the third case. These are concepts. Okay. These are simply concepts. Okay. Now third case is this one. This is another parabolic function. So it will have a local minimum. But please note, it is not touching the x-axis. So it will have local minimum, means it will have 2 roots, and as it is not touching this one, then it will have complex pair, one complex pair. Okay, now check this graph. It will have a local minimum. So here 2 roots are possible. Okay, out of that 2 roots, 1 root is here. This is 1 root that is visible, and second root is not visible. So the second root is not visible. Now here we have a local minimum. So here also 2 roots is possible. 2 roots are there. Out of 2 roots, this is 1 root. This is common to this local maxima and local minima. This particular one. So a remaining one is also there. So here a remaining one is there. Remaining one is there. So this one and this one. This one is not visible, means not crossing. So it will have two complex roots and one real root. Okay, so from the graph you can predict about the presence of complex. You can't predict about the location of that complex root, but we can predict about the presence of local root. Local root means complex root is present, that you can predict. The position of that complex root you can predict. Okay, so if you have this type of root, so anyway this one is crossing here, so either here or here you can take a initial value. So I took this value, that is minus 3. Now for complex root, so you can say a local minima is 0. So you can take 0 plus j. Is it okay? So instead of taking 0 plus j, I took minus 1 plus, sorry, I took 1 plus j. Instead of 1 plus j, you can take 0 plus j. But always better take don't take a 0 as a real value. Better take 0.1 plus j or minus 0.1 plus j, that is better. You can ensure convergence. Okay, you can take 0 plus j, but better take a real value also. Real and complex value, imaginary part, both. Okay, so please note, so for finding root, if you are starting from, so here if you are starting, in order to find this root, if you are if the initial condition is somewhere here, it will not convert to this point, it will struck here. It will give a wrong answer, it will give 0. Actually 0 is not a root. Okay, so such problems are there. If local minima and local maxima are present, you must be very careful if you are taking the initial condition. Okay, that initial condition must be between the root and the local minima. Somewhere here you have to take, or somewhere here you have to take. Okay, so this one is complex root. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about, so what about the multiple root? Okay, so Newton's method for multiple root. First we have to discuss the disadvantage of Newton's method if multiple root is present. That we are first going to discuss. Okay, so take this function, this one, okay, x-axis and f of x. If we have only one root, say take x minus 1, y equal to x minus 1, this one have only one root. Okay, say this is 1, this point is 1, position of this one is wrong, say this point is 1. So this is y equal to x minus 1 function that is crossing at x equal to 1. And you can see that at x equal to 1, the slope of this function is comparatively large. What about x minus 1 square? If you have x minus 1 square, if it have x minus 1, if the function is y equal to x minus 1 square, then you can see that if x is far away from the root is multiple root, it will have two roots at x equal to 1. So if it is far away from the root, you can see that the slope of the function is, that is slope of x minus 1 square is greater than slope of x minus 1. But what about this region? Am I correct? Slope of x minus 1 square is less than x minus 1 if magnitude of x minus r is less than 1. If magnitude of x minus r, if it is less than 1, then the slope of f of x is, means slope of x minus 1 square is less than x minus, means if it have multiple root, the slope is less than the single root case. Now what about x minus 1 all cube? If y equal to x minus 1 all cube, again at x equal to 1 we have 3 roots, it will have multiple root. Now you can, very near to the root, the slope is very small. What is slope? Slope is f dash of x, right? F dash of x is a slope. And you can see that in Newton's method, f dash of x is the denominator. F of x divided by f dash of x, that one is a corrective term. Xn plus 1, xn plus 1 equal to xn minus this term. So this part is becoming small and small. Am I correct? Okay, so very near to the root, f dash of x is becoming small and small. So if x minus 1 all cube, that its slope is less than x minus 1 square, less than x minus 1. So if you have x minus 1 all raised to 4, again slope will decrease. If you have something like x minus 1 all raised to 100, the function will be like a pulse signal. Means very near to the root, the slope is almost 0. Means this term is 0, almost 0. Means this term will become infinity. If this term will become infinity, this method will take a large number of steps to convert. That is why Newton's method is becoming linear if it have multiple root. Okay. So please note, if you have multiple root, Newton's method will become a linearly converging method. Okay, so that one is a disadvantage of Newton's method. Okay. So please note, the method that we discussed will not work or do not work well with multiple roots. It will work, but it will not work well with multiple roots. And also convergence is affected. Convergence will become linear. Convergence will become linear if it have multiple roots. Okay. So how can we solve this crisis? By modifying this Newton's method, we can overcome this convergence problem. So we can regain the quadratic convergence by modifying the Newton's method into a modified Newton method. So the Newton's method is modified into this equation. Okay. So xn plus 1 by taking xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus k into f of xn divided by f dash of xn, we can regain the quadratic convergence of Newton's method. So please note, we can restore that quadratic convergence. So please note, this one is a modified convergence method. Okay. So k is equal to 1 if it have single root, but if it have multiple root, k must be greater than 1. Okay. But again a problem is normally if you have multiple roots, if you have n multiple roots, k must be n. So k is nothing but the multiplicity of that root. We don't know if you have a general function, we don't know, we can't predict the multiplicity of the root. Okay, so there are methods to check the multiplicity of root. That one is not discussed here. Okay, so with respect to that method, we have to find the value of k. Okay, so I told you this one is numerical technique. All are written in. Normally, we have to write this in computer. So first we have to apply that method. So it will give the multiplicity of the root. Then we have to select Newton's method or Newton's modified method. Okay. So for example, note down this question. Find the root of f of x is equal to x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1. So this is a familiar term, so you can guess what is the root of this one. Okay, so do one thing by using the regular Newton's method. Regular Newton's method means the Newton's method that we discussed in the last class. That is xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. Using that, find their root. That is, take k equal to 1. Then by using the modified Newton's method, find the root. So by using xn plus 1 equal to xn minus k into f of xn divided by f dash of xn. Find the root. Take k equal to 3 at that point. Okay. So first, by using k equal to 1. So note this tabular column. So here f of xn, already we have f of x. Now we require f dash of x. So what is f dash of x? F dash of x is equal to 3x square, right, plus 6x plus 3. So that is f dash of x. Now take the initial condition. Take the initial condition xn is minus 2. So take the initial condition as minus 2. So if xn equal to minus 2, so first iteration, if xn equal to minus 2, what is the value of f of xn? Minus 2 cube plus 3 into minus 2 square plus 3 into minus 2 plus 1. That is minus 8 plus 12 minus 6 plus 1. So that is minus 1. Right? Now, what is f dash of xn? 3 into minus 2 square plus 6 into minus 2 plus 3. That is 3. Right? So, if you are applying the regular Newton's method, what is xn plus 1? Minus 2 minus minus 1 divided by 3. Why? Because xn plus 1 is xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So, we have minus 2 minus minus 1 by 3. So, we have minus 1.667. So, at this point we have a round off error. Okay. Actually, it is 666, it is continuing. So, that one is rounded to minus 1.6667. Okay. So, the first iteration is 1 minus 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1.6667. Now, what about the second iteration? Xn is minus 1.6667. So, f of xn is minus 0.2963. F dash of xn is 1.3333. So, what about xn plus 1? Xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So, we have minus 1.4444. So, that is second iteration. Now, what about third iteration? Xn is minus 1.4444. Right? So, what about f of xn? F of xn is minus 0.0878. So, that is f of xn. Now, f dash of xn means value of f dash at this point is 0.5926. So, what about xn plus 1? Xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So, we have minus 1.2963. Okay. So, that is third iteration. Now, what about fourth iteration? Xn is minus 1.2963. F of xn is minus 0.0260. F dash of xn is 0.2634. So, what about xn plus 1? Xn plus 1 is minus 1.1975. So, that is xn plus 1 after fourth iteration. Now, fifth iteration. Xn is minus 1.1975. Now, f of xn, that is f of this value, is minus 0.0077. Now, f dash of xn is 0.1171. So, xn plus 1 is minus 1.1317. Okay. So, what about the sixth iteration? Sixth iteration, xn is minus 1.1317. F of xn is minus 0.0023. F dash of xn is 0.0520. Xn plus 1 is minus 1.0878. So, seventh iteration, we have xn is minus 1.0878. This is negligible. F dash of xn is 0.0231 minus 1.0585. Actually, it is not terminator. This is actually not negligible. Just took 7 steps. I think after 8th iteration or 9th iteration, it will terminate. Okay. So, please note, if you are rounding the values, then definitely it will not convert to minus 1. Please note, minus 1 is the actual root. I told you this one is a familiar equation. This is actually x plus 1 all raised to 3, means the root is minus 1 with the multiplicity 3. So, that one is converging to minus 1.0585 if you are using 4 significant digits. Okay. So, now if you are using k equal to 3, if you are using modified Newton's method with k equal to 3. So, please note, again f dash is equal to 3 x square plus 6x plus 3. And what is modified Newton's method? Xn plus 1 equal to xn minus f of xn, or we can write fn divided by f dash of xn, right? So again, if you are using xn equal to minus 2 for first iteration, then xn is minus 2, f of xn is minus 1, then f dash of xn is 3. So what about xn plus 1? This minus 2 minus k equal to 3. So into 3 into minus 1 divided by 3. So we have minus 1. Xn plus 1 is minus 1. Now what about second iteration? Second iteration, xn is minus 1, f of xn is 0. Means minus 1 is exactly the root of the given equation. So f of xn is 0. Now f dash of xn is 0. Why f dash of xn is 0? Because I told you this f of x, f is equal to x plus 1 all cube, right? So what is its derivative? If you are taking the derivative of this term, this is 3x square plus 6x plus 3. But what about if you are taking the derivative of this one? F dash is equal to 3x plus 1 the whole square, right? So at x equal to minus 1, if xn equal to minus 1, then what is f dash? That is 3 into minus 1 plus 1 whole square, that is 0. So here f dash of xn is also 0. So that is one is the case of multiple root. If it have multiple root at root, then f dash of xn will be 0. So as f of xn is 0, then xn plus 1 is minus 1. We have it divisible by 0. Problem is the but that one is understood. So if you have an algorithm at this particular situation, the algorithm may not give answer due to this divisible by 0. But theoretically, this is if f of xn is 0, if you are putting that particular condition, if you are writing an algorithm, if f of xn is 0, xn plus 1 is xn. If you are writing that condition, then xn plus 1 is minus 1. Okay. So here the root is equal to minus 1. So now you can see that speed of convergence is increased, right? Now by using k not equal to 1, k greater than 1, the speed of convergence is increased to 2. Now it is a quadratic converging method with the multiple root. Okay. But the problem is we have to predict the value of k, or we have to find the value of k by using some method. So we need one more algorithm to find the value of k, or we have to check the multiplicity of the root. That's the problem. Okay. So I am stopping here.